Hello all, welcome to WFHR's Rapids Report for this May 29th, 2025. I have your host James J. Malouf here, and welcoming into the studio our good friend Alison Breuner with the Southwood County Historical Museum. Alison, it's good to have you with us.
Hi James, thank you for having us.
It's always good to talk with you guys. Please say hi to Phil and the gang, everybody over there for us. We appreciate them, and appreciate you guys keeping history alive over there and having so much fun. We're going to have some fun today because we got a lot of events and exhibits to go over. Let's kick things off with a good one coming up, I believe, June 1st, right?
Yeah, this Sunday, June 1st, as James said, we have our speaker presentation from Brett Barker. He's actually the chair of the History Department and International Studies at UWSP. So he is very graciously joining us to talk about recovering the Civil War through letters and diaries. Yeah.
As I've mentioned to you and rambled to Phil for years, I'm a nerd about history, love history. I get really, the more involved it gets or the closer it gets, I like American history and then like local history and just get more and more entwined. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of the stuff that is going to be covered in this is really common knowledge. I think a lot of it is going to be new to people, along with some stuff that I think maybe even fill in some blanks in some ways. And it should be noted too, Brett is really good at this. He's been doing this for a very long time, knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about. And I feel like it's one of those things that the thoughts that you have about it, I think, come up more in the conversation and when you're listening to him and everything. I really do think this is something for everybody, and everybody should attend.
Absolutely. We recommend all age ranges, especially what's particular about this one. It's in coordination with our current traveling exhibit, Becoming the United States, which focuses on gleaning information from primary sources. So that's exactly what he's doing with the diaries and letters. This is our interpretation of what they're writing, but we're getting it right from the source. So I'm really looking forward to what he can tell us more.
It is fascinating. Just as a loose example, we're still finding dinosaur bones.
Oh yeah.
And I know that might seem, oh, what's the big deal? Well, that's amazing. That's pretty darn amazing considering how much we've dug up of this planet and everything already, and that we're still discovering stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's very similar with our history, and where we are still discovering things that we think we understood or we knew quite a bit, and we're getting more and more data on and more information on. And this is a really great resource for this too, because this comes from recovered Civil War letters, right?
Yeah. And really, when you think about the study of history and being such a fun topic and area, you think you might know the answer now, and 50 years down the road, something new comes up and it completely changes. So it's always an evolving field, and it's fun for people to keep coming back and learn more.
I don't know if people think about that with history often enough, but it is an evolving field. That is such a good way to put that. Mm-hmm. It's a fun part of it too, especially for those of us that like to attend these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the combination of that going along with the touring exhibit. That's a really fun combination of those things. So again, The Real War Will Never Get in the Books, Recovering the Civil War Through Letters and Diaries is going to be going on this Sunday, June 1st at 2 o'clock over at the beautiful South County Historical Museum. And again, thanks to Brett for doing that and being a guest on that one. That is really fun. Mm-hmm. Got some other great things coming up as well. Go ahead and teeing you up for it. What do you want to talk about next?
Yeah, all right. Well, we also, last time we were here, we talked about the Wisconsin Prairie Chicken Festival.
Yeah.
So that happened. They put together a fantastic exhibit that had the Hammerstrom history, the festival group itself. So now through the end of the season, the folks at Wood Trust Bank put together a really fascinating display talking about their years in the community. They were founded in 1891 as the Wood County National Bank. So it goes well over a century of who's kind of been there, how some things have changed, and there's some fun bits of nostalgia there for people to enjoy as well.
Alison, I'm glad you brought this up. We love our friends over there, great people over there, and from what I was seeing in the newsletter and some of that, it seemed very successful. Seemed like things went really good.
Yeah, and we last year we featured things on the First National Bank on Grand Avenue, so there was the Witter connection with them. So we wanted to be able to showcase this year the bank that's still locally run. So how fascinating that it's been going as long as it has and still serving the community.
Yeah, great to hear. Went well. I wanted to mention the 3rd Street walking tour as well, and remind people about that. You guys already had one of them come up, but you got one around the corner. How did the one on May 21st go?
Well, unfortunately, we did have to cancel
that's right,
that. Yeah,
yes.
so the weather was kind of dreary, kind of cold, and we thought, you know what, we're going to wait and hope that the weather holds for the next one. So next up, we have June 8th, so that's not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. We have Phil Brown, who's our vice president and all things historical information. He's leading the tours at 1 o'clock and 2:30. So we still have a couple spots available. If you're interested, you can give us a call at the museum. So we start from the museum. We kind of wind our way along the sidewalk on the west side. We talk about the Nash family, the Brazo family, a couple spots along the way. We go to the hospital. We have such a fascinating medical history in town, and we kind of hit along a few spots along the way. It's last year we started the tours that had been a number of years, and we had a nice age range. So it's another one of those we recommend anyone of all ages to join us.
It's, I think especially when it comes to people, they've spent maybe their whole lives in this town, but people like myself that have been here for, half my life pretty much, there's buildings and streets that I've gone down that I enjoy or I like the look of them, but I don't know even a little bit of some of the history.
Yeah.
This is a real good opportunity to get that information, and from one of the best sources you can. Phil is such a good talker, so much fun with this stuff. His energy, if I had just met Phil, I would have thought he just started, because he's just got that same energy from the first time I talked to him and everything. Just really enjoys what he does.
Absolutely. We always joke with them. We're like, okay, Phil, you got to remember to try to keep this around an hour. And sometimes we have to send him a couple messages. We got to start wrapping up.
I can see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And not only a great chance to hear those stories and stuff, but also gets into the architecture of some of these awesome styles of buildings and everything around us, which is another thing that I just enjoy hearing about, and he does a really nice job with.
Yeah.
That 3rd Street walking tour is coming up June 8th at 1 o'clock, and then another tour will begin at 2:30. That's why we got to keep it to an hour, Phil. That's why we got. And we'll give you the information on how you can find out more about that and signing up and reserving a spot before we wrap up with Alison today. Alison, what else did you want to touch on?
Well, so at the end of June, that's when Becoming the United States, that current traveling exhibit, comes to a close, unfortunately. So it heads off to its next location. But in its place, we then have Working Warriors coming from the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, which focuses on military roles beyond combat. So you think of your lawyers, your dentists, your mechanics. It's sort of a glimpse into something you might not necessarily think of.
And again, another one of those things that is really not only meaningful, but goes a long way with learning and interesting, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention the Timeless Tales, the story time that you guys are going to be doing. That's a really cool idea. I like this.
Yeah. We were looking at things. This is actually our 70th anniversary as the Historical Corporation, and we're very fortunate to be in the beautiful spot we're in, which used to be the T.B. Scott Public Library, and we didn't want to step on the toes too much of Macmillan, so we thought, well, we'll just do some little story times, get some people there. We have a beautiful property on the river. Do a short story time with the kids, and then we'll make a little craft with them and try to get some younger families to the museum who maybe have never visited us before.
It's a great idea. We talk about this a lot. When kids get this stuff at a young age, they are that much more inclined to take an interest the rest of their lives, whether that's their own history or personal history or local history, or maybe even getting involved in history and maybe taking your job one day, Alison, or something like that. I mean, it's that's what this is about. Whatever the industry we're in, we're trying to spark interest in others, and this is a great opportunity to do it. Especially June 26th, I see Charlotte's Web will be featured. A classic. July 10th, you've got Little House in the Big Woods, Laurel Ingalls Wilder, of course, another classic. And then Anna Green Gables, Ella Montgomery in August, one of my mom and my sister's favorites.
Yes.
That all great selections, all great choices. And that is going to be a really fun way to, again, get them familiar with the building, familiar with what you guys are doing over there, and some of that, as well as all this great stuff that they'll be experiencing.
Yeah. We're always looking for new people to join us. We're always looking for volunteers. Maybe whether you want to just help greet people, you want to help do some historical research. The world always needs more stewards in the world of history, so we're always available for people.
I'm glad you segued perfectly for me. I wanted to make sure to mention the Cranberry Blossom Festival. I'm not sure the next time we'll get a chance to talk to you, so I wanted to make sure to reference it because that is coming up in June. While it doesn't seem that far away, it'll be tomorrow, like in seconds here.
Absolutely,
it's just,
right around the corner.
You guys are going to be you're going to have exhibits open for that and an ice cream social, and we'll be talking about these on our show when we get closer to it, of course. But did want to remind everybody about it, and can always use volunteers for these events.
Yeah. So we have expanded hours. We aren't traditionally open on Fridays, but we wanted to be there for anyone who's out of town. Maybe you aren't from the area, or maybe you grew up and you're visiting during that specific time. So we'll be open on Friday from 1 to 3 for the exhibits. That Saturday, the 21st, we have our classic ice cream social, and that's from 1 to 3 while supplies last. So on the ice cream, the exhibits will be open, but once we're out, we're out. So
keep that in mind. Get over there early, everybody, and visit the museum as much as you can, and help with the work that they're doing over there. Not only are you getting a great time and great information and everything, but you're helping them do the good work that they're doing, keeping history alive in this area.
Yeah.
Allison, did we cover everything? Did we get to it?
I think so for the moment.
All right on.
I feel like we covered some good ground here.
But there's always more to cover, so you have to come back.
Absolutely.
That's just the way this. I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to come back, and we look forward to it when you do. If people have follow-up questions, would like to know more, Alison, how can they get in touch with you guys at the museum and find out more?
Yeah, so you can either give us a call. Our phone number is 715-423-1580, or if you prefer email, you can touch base with me at allison@southwoodcountyhistory.org. And that's a long one, but it's also on our website. So if you have any questions, just find us there.
And that website is swchs-museum.com, swch-museum.com. I have tested this many times. If you throw into your search bar Southwood County Historical Museum, it pops the first thing that pops up, so you should be able to find it pretty easy that way as well. Thank you again for the time, Allison.
Yeah, thanks, James.
And thanks to all of you for joining us here at WFHR's Rapids Report.